Hello there. Hello. Welcome to this channel. I'm so honored to have you here. I'm so honored to have you watching me right now. And trust me, I have a lot for you. So this is Musawo Moomo. Yeah, I'm a midwife, a mother, and maternal and child health enthusiast. I'm a public health specialist, and I'm all about motherhood, child care, newborn care, breastfeeding, and all that. So, for prenatal care, labor tips, breastfeeding tips, newborn care, I have everything you need to make your motherhood and your labor experience more empowered and meaningful. Trust me. So today I'm going to talk about a very controversial topic, a very, most people understand it, most people don't. I'm impacting or I am dispelling this. I'm talking about cesarean section stigma. Cesarean section stigma is a thing. It is a thing, and in our generation or in this, in our years, we are experiencing it more. We are seeing it more. And there's so many things people have to say about it. But I would like to say that cesarean section is a normal thing now. It is something that happens, and for some people, it happens for a reason, and for some people they opt for it because they have their reason. So cesarean section is a way of maybe putting it in a layman's person, opening your stomach and uterus to remove the baby, basically, if I don't have to go into any scientific definition. So it is another form of giving birth other than vaginal birth. And so many people have a weird or misinformation about it, in that they go ahead and discourage mothers, discourage people from doing it. You find like maybe this person has been in labor or has a health issue or has something that would require them to have a cesarean section, but because people don't have enough information, they will do all sorts of things to advise this mother not to go ahead and do it. And this can be impactful to the baby, to the health of the mother, and all that. So I would like to address it. I would like to talk about it, and maybe one of or two people can get. So if you like this video, please do comment, ask any questions, and I'll be glad to answer them. I'll be glad to give you the information you need. I'll be glad to make you understand in case you don't understand anything. Cesarean section, like I said, it's the act of opening the stomach and removing the baby from the mother, and it can be due to there are two types of cesarean section. There's elective and emergency cesarean section. Elective happens when you arrange and have this on the day that you want, especially if the baby's term. Term is, I know the baby is grown and is ready. If they remove this baby, you can do what? The baby is okay to leave and stuff. Elective cesarean section can be due to so many reasons. So someone maybe has had a cesarean section before, or has maybe the doctor examined and realized that maybe no, you might not be able to push this baby out, or you might not be able to, if you try to push this baby, maybe they'll have health complications, or this baby is too big, they might not be able to pass down there. So they arrange and select a day for you to have this baby removed. Or maybe there's a cord around the neck and it's maybe a knot. There's when babies have a cord around the neck and it forms a knot as if they've been in that case, it is very dangerous for you to have that baby. So it's very important actually now in this case to say that it is very, very important to do an ultrasound scan, like to do a scan in the late stages of pregnancy towards your expected date of delivery. I'll be talking about all these things and you'll understand them more. So when you do a scan, it gives an overview of what is happening in there. Maybe It can show you that maybe the water in which this baby is playing, the babies are in water when they are inside the uterus. It's what keeps them afloat. It's what they feed on. It's what keeps them alive. So another reason actually where you can have a cesarean section is if your water has reduced drastically, in which we call severe oligohydramnios or oligohydramnios. Your water has reduced and the baby cannot play, cannot feed. That is very dangerous for the baby. So in this case, they explain everything to you and you go for an elective Caesar. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault, but the placenta cannot make enough water for this baby anymore. And for this baby to stay in this uterus now, it is very dangerous. So you find that is also another reason for you to have a Caesar. So when someone now is told you're going to have a Caesar, if they had a very bad conception, if they had misconceptions about Caesar, they'll find it hard. Caesar is the term we use for cesarean section. So most people relate with that. So you find that this is what I encourage people to do during antenatal. If you can, ask questions. Have a session with your gyne, with your midwife to get ready, because what we are missing today as mothers, as healthcare providers, as even caretakers, you find a mother leaves home, comes to hospital for antenatal. But what they'll do, they'll be on their phone, they come sit at reception, go get triaged, come see the doctor, get out maybe if there was any blood work to be done, they go do it, they give them results, maybe go do a scan, they give them results, and the doctor will be like, okay, everything is okay. No questions asked. You're not asking about the blood work you've just done. You're not asking about the scan you've just done, the results. And I find that it makes me so mad when I'm like in those rooms. I want to tell this mother, ask whatever, ask anything. Of course, I believe all these mothers have trust in these gynecologists and obstetricians to tell them anything if there was anything bad. But I would love for a mother to take an initiative to sit down with either a midwife or a gynecologist, because there should be time for that, and understand that in case of this and this happens, how would I go about it? But some don't, and I would wish for that to change, especially now, since there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of information out there, but it would be important to get information from the person taking care of you than you going on Google, you going to ask maybe some people call their maybe sisters or mothers or whatever in front of you, and they're like, how can I go about this? But you have a healthcare provider right in front of you that you can ask, who has knowledge, who has an experience in how they dealt with this thing. So there are so many things that can lead to an elective Caesar. So many things. And when this happens, sometimes it can be planned or pre-planned. You come today, everything has been going on well, everything has been fine, and then you find maybe the baby has changed position. And you're in the last weeks of pregnancy. You're in the last weeks of, you're about to give birth. And they'll tell you, no matter what you do, the baby cannot be born vaginally. And if the health provider had prepared you prior to that very discussion and told you, you know what, as pregnancy progresses, this and this can happen, this and this can, you will take in this information very, very okay. You'll be okay with it. But some people, because they never have discussions with their midwives, doctors, any other person, you find that at this point, they are confused. They had their expectations. They didn't have any other information prior to this, and now they are like, how do I go about it? You find they are maybe seeking second hand information, and they are maybe saying, we can do this. You find sometimes you're in labor ward or you're in an antenatal room, and someone is like, you're giving them information, you're telling a mother this and this cannot happen. They're like, your mother did it, my sister did it, you can also do it. And that is misinformation, that is misconceptions that I would like to put across, so that when you as a mother, you who is in labor, you is having this pregnancy, it is very important to have someone who has what do I call it? Who has your back, like who has, so that even when there is someone saying something, they are able to be like, no, this is not what you need. And in myself, this is something that I do that maybe in the recent terms, they call it doula. A doula is someone who is not trained as a medical person, but has knowledge and information to help mothers go through pregnancy, labor, and delivery. And they are doing a very good job. But it's also important now, if I'm a doula and a midwife, I have medical knowledge, I have medical about all these things, and I also am there, and I know I'm there for you. So, elective Caesar is broad. It is something, someone can just even decide to have, it is maternal desire. We call it due to maternal desire. A mother comes, is like, you know what, my EDD, I'm expecting to give birth maybe on the 15th, and I would like on that day to come in and have this baby born. And that is very okay. It doesn't have to have a reason, you get. It doesn't have to have a reason. We are pro-choice. We are now saying you can do. We want you to have a very positive experience for your birth. So now imagine someone comes and says, you know what? No, I know I may not be able to give birth, to go into labor and give birth normally. So I want to have a baby. And now you're imposing, be like, no, go and have vaginal birth. It will create a very negative experience for this mother, because she had something she wanted. And when we do this, they say maybe don't come women, but they have this choice. They have a choice to how they want to experience their motherhood, how they want to experience their labor. So we are all about that as well. So so we have elective Caesar and emergency Caesar. Emergency Caesar is more like, we were on a path of maybe vaginal birth, and something happened and we can't continue with vaginal birth. And there are so many reasons for that. Many reasons for that. But usually it is more to for the health of the baby and the health of the mother, basically. So to understand like how vaginal births happen, it is more about three things, basically: power, passenger, and passage. That if you understand those things, you'll appreciate when now at the end of the day, a doctor comes in or a midwife comes in and tells you that, you know what, today or right now, you may not be able to give birth normally. And if you had a discussion about those things prior, during antenatal, because that I keep saying this, antenatal is is like a low-hanging fruit for information, for when you can take decisions. So imagine you're in labor, you are dilated, you have contractions, they're hitting you so hard, but then the baby's heartbeat is fluttering. It is up. We know now the baby is not breathing so well. And if we keep at this, we might lose the baby, and we don't want that. So in here, we tell you, you know what? We have to go to theater. So this is where the three P's coming: the passenger, the power, and the passage. Passenger is more like the baby. Is the one we are carrying and has to go through that birth canal. So if anything happens to this passenger, or if we feel like the passenger has the baby, let me call it the baby. If you feel like the baby something is not going well, that would end up into an emergency cesarean section. It could be a heartbeat, like maybe the fetal heart, the heartbeat of the baby is either lowering or going up. That is called fetal distress. If we feel like there's distress, because if the baby is distressed, that means we are about to lose this baby, so we shall go to that. Now, if we feel like maybe the baby might not pass through the birth canal, maybe the passenger is big, has a big baby, or they are in a position, because there's a position in which the baby should go through. I'll have time and discuss about that. But then as they go through, they have to do two internal rotations inside the pelvis for them to go out and come out. So sometimes they do the first rotation and then get stuck in the pelvis, because the pelvis is a very small passage. It's not very small, and there are so many muscles, there are so many organs. There's the bladder, there's rectum, there's so many things surrounding that place. So if the baby gets stuck somewhere and they can't continue with their journey, then there's no point in keeping you in labor and what. So sometimes when people hear that this person is going for Caesar, all they think about is they are going to cut. It's not even cutting, it's incising. I usually say that to people a lot. We are not cutting. Cutting is more like visual. It's like kamata, kata with a panga or with something, but it's a small incision. They make it, they go through the skin layers and reach the uterus. They also make a small incision and get the baby out, which I feel like it is prestigious for a baby to come out. But I talked about the passenger, the passage. If we feel like the passage where the baby is coming from is so narrow and the baby might not go through, or the passage also has parts, but the cervix, as we are in labor and we are giving birth, it's the cervix that is fundamental. If the cervix is not opening, or if the cervix is a problem, if the cervix, I was working on a mother and she was pushing. This mother could have given birth, but she was pushing. Every time she would get a contraction, she would push. So the moment you start pushing, when the cervix is not yet fully open, it will start swelling. So imagine if you're supposed to push at here and you start pushing when the cervix is still like here, it will swell because you're putting pressure on it. And this mother couldn't, because there's a risk for this cervix tearing, and we don't want that. There's a risk for, all sorts of things. So cervical dystocia, if the cervix fails to open, many mothers have gone into labor and the cervix has refused. You even augment, you ripen the cervix, you give some muscle relaxers so that maybe the muscles of the cervix and the what relax so that it opens freely, and it really, really refuses. So in this case, there's no other way, because the baby cannot pass through, because the only way the baby can pass through the cervix is if it is able to open fully. So in this case, a caretaker who is not maybe a part of the process, or who has been away and has not been seeing, because imagine every 4 hours or every 2 hours, we have to do a vaginal examination to assess and see whether if we started at 2 centimeters, after 4 hours, we expect maybe to be at 6 centimeters. But we repeat after 4 hours and we find you're still at 2 centimeters. We give you time. The contractions are increasing. We repeat at like after 4 hours and you're still at 2 centimeters. Remember, the baby is there and the labor is going on. There's an impact on the baby. There's an impact on the uterus. If the passenger, the cervix, is not opening, there's no point. If we give you at least 8-10 hours and we see like nothing is happening, this is reason enough. Even at this point, the mother is tired, the mother is distressed, the mother is not understanding what is going on, and we have given maybe drugs to help. Then there's no other way. But then you call the family because maybe you want to have a discussion with them and be like, you know what, this mother, because of this and this and this, we have to go and do a cesarean section, and they are like, no, this hospital, all you people, you want to make money, you want to, just cut people. But sometimes there's a reason. Like, trust me, there's no medical person who would just, unless if the mother asks for it. And if they do ask for it, usually there's an intensive discussion that happens. You don't even just take the mother to theater and have the baby out before you even have a discussion with them. So when you call in these people to talk to them and they're like, no, and then you're risking the life of the baby, the life of the mother, because when they are distressed, their pressures can go high, their heart rate can go high, and then there's shock. So there's so many things why a mother would go to for Caesar. But because in the past, Caesar was associated with so many complications, so many problems, and people had this mentality that okuzala kufa, like Caesar is like the worst thing that can ever happen to a mother. But trust me, it is not, because it helps in so many situations. And then I also want to talk about the power beat. The power beat is the contractions. Imagine this mother has come and they didn't have enough contractions. You gave them contractions. The cervix without contractions. Now we shall go into the physiology of labor, like how labor happens, because if we don't have enough contractions to push the baby, and this baby, when they are pushed, they create an impact on the cervix and it helps it to dilate. So if there's not enough power, if there's not enough contractions it will lead to prolonged labor. Now imagine someone came in, maybe they are in true labor. True labor is when mother is like 4 centimeters dilated and above. So they are maybe 6 centimeters, but you try to give them contractions. You put contractions, you maybe induce, you adjuvant we usually adjuvant with like oxytocin or what, and then you give this person, but they are not improving. They keep getting those mild contractions. They are at, you don't understand what is happening. You increase the dose, but nothing is happening. This person who was supposed maybe to have given like 4 hours later, they continue. They reach like 10 hours. They reach like 8 hours. Like labor that normal labor takes up to 18 hours at least. But then this is maybe someone who is reaching 20 hours laboring in labor. Now, there could be even issues where the membranes have ruptured and you feel like this baby is not safe to be alone contracting at this time. So at the end of the day, I feel like having this baby safely removed from the uterus, if it is not contracting enough and giving an impact, is the best way possible. But because cesarean section has been, of course, there are complications that come with it. There are complications, but I want to talk about the stigma mostly that comes with the cesarean section, with mothers who have had cesarean sections, because some mothers have felt like they are not women enough. We were told that going into labor, and having your vaginal birth is the way to show that you have become a woman, you have been through it, you're a strong mother, you are doing it. But it's not the only way. Imagine someone who has been in labor for like 10 hours, 12 hours, they have had contractions, and something happened that she had no control over. Like maybe the baby is getting distressed, or the baby has come in a bad position, or there's a true knot on the cord, or there's antepartum hemorrhage. The antepartum hemorrhage is like where the baby is not yet out, but you've had bleeding, which is even excessive with clots and what. This person, you can't make them feel like they are not woman enough because they have had cesarean section. So the stigma that comes with cesarean section is too much, where people feel like, no, they will judge me, and people have gone ahead and judged them. Sure, she just had her baby removed. That word removed is yes, it is the right word, but people use it in a wrong way, but I want to tell women that whether cesarean section, whether normal birth, the process is the same. You have had your baby, as long as the baby is safe, as long as the baby is normal, as long as the baby has come out alive, breathing, and everything else is not. So cesarean section stigma is real, but I would like to say that as long as there's a valid reason, or it is your desire to have cesarean section, it is okay to do cesarean section. It is okay to put yourself and your baby's health first, because that's what's important. So if you have any questions, if you have any inquiries, if you want to understand more, if you want to as to how to continue this discussion, you can comment in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, just hit it so that whenever I post something, you can have it, and like, share, and I'll be happy to answer any questions in my inbox anywhere. Musawo Moomo, Moreno Mugisha, and bye. See you next time.